Can't stop, can't stop, won't stop. But a bitch said, I give him that D-bop. Like, take that, take that, take that, take that. I'ma put in work. I'ma do that ASAP. Throw my paper rap. But if they don't say that, what I'ma turn down for? Feel like shit. Thank you guys for joining. Come on in. Get ready for the recharge. Vibe with us with Andy Minio. Hey, everybody. It's Lady D. Welcome. Welcome to Recharge Wednesdays. Vibe with us. Hey. Hey. You know the words? Sing with me. God and He on my side. That's the confidence of God because He got me. You can't stop me. Hey. Come on. Get ready for the recharge. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. for a recharge. And also join us on Sundays at 12 p.m. live on Facebook and on YouTube. We are getting ready to get recharged with Minister Brittany, Coulter. Get ready for the recharge. Hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Come on, share, 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 share. Come on, we need y'all to share this. She's bringing forth a powerful word. Share, let's go. Hey. Shoulda, coulda. I be paralyzed by fear. Hey. Let's go. Make moves or make excuses. Yeah. My biggest enemy is me. Even I can't stop me. Let's go. They try to shut us down and it ain't gonna slide. Only thing I fear is God and He on my side. That's the confidence of God because He got me. You can't stop me. Hey, you ready, Brittany? Come on with it. There we go. Welcome to the recharge. Our very own Brittany Coulter is getting ready to bring forth the word on tonight. Share, 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 and get ready to get recharged with Minister Brittany Coulter.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you who do not know, my name is Brittany Coulter. A lot of people like to call me Minister Brittany Coulter. It's always like a what? I'm a minister, whatever. I hear that, but hey, nevertheless, I'm thankful. Thank you guys for tuning in. On behalf of Victory in the Word Ministries and Bishop Dr. Daniel Davenport, Pastor Khadisha Davenport, thank you for tuning in. This is Recharge Wednesday. So Wednesdays are the days where we get that midweek pick-me-up. You know, it's hump day. It's like, halfway during the week, you're over it. The weekend is like not necessarily right there. But it's not necessarily, Sunday either. So, hey, we're going to get recharged. So the last time I was before you guys, we talked about, the importance of unplugging and learn how to just separate yourself from all the different things that we're, required and expected to do. We're often used as an outlet for so many other different people that we get burned out. A lot of people tend to, suck the life from us, for a lack of better words, right? We're like a charging port for so many different people, that we get burned out eventually. And the question that I always ask is, what's charging you? What's keeping you charged? What's keeping you recharged so you can keep going? We are constantly pouring into other people, giving to other people, being so many different things for other people, but who's going to take care of you when you can't take care of you, right? So it's important that we take care of ourselves and refocus our energy and refocus our mind so that we can continue to do the things that we need to do, what we want to do, and stay focused on our focus. So that's what I want to talk about today, right? We talked about, the importance of unplugging, what we should unplug from, how we should unplug, and all that stuff. We got it. We've been talking about it for weeks. We got it. But now let's talk about what we should do while we're in that unplugging process, right? While we're in that space where we unplug from everybody, what should you be doing? What should you be focusing on? How do you get back on track, right? So we're going to talk about that today. So, it's important to stay grounded and be fixed like a tree. Trees have roots that grow deep into the ground, right? So if you go outside, you cut down a tree, you can cut off all the branches, you can cut off, get rid of all the leaves, but that tree trunk is still going to be there. Why? Because that tree has been around for so long, it's grown its roots, and it's, fixed into the ground. So we all know that if you have a home, or if you ever, been anywhere, you maybe tripped over a tree stump at the park, right? Or if you have a home and you have, trees in your backyard, you have to call somebody to get those removed, because it's not something that you can just take away, right? You can't just cut out a tree and expect it to disappear, right? So the focus is that we need to be like trees, right? We need to be rooted and grounded, because if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for everything, right? If your feet aren't planted and if you aren't steadfast in the place that you're supposed to be in, any and everything is going to move you, right? And that's a part of why we are always burnt out, because we're so fixated on everything else but ourselves. So it's three things that we need to do in this process, or in this time that we're refocusing our energy, when we're, unplugging from the world, unplugging from people, and really just focus on us. Have a list, right? And I want you to write this down, because it's actually very important, right? It's important to stay focused on your focus and to stay grounded. So step one is to assess, right? We need to review our current situation and priorities and pray over what it is that we're doing. Because a lot of times, we get pulled in so many different directions. It gets to the point that you don't even know what you're doing or why you're doing it. You may have started off helping one person, but now you're helping out 50 people, right? You may have started off with being this one person for somebody, but now you're this one person for, sister, mama, cousin, auntie, uncle, and everybody else down the line. So we need to assess our current situation and prioritize. I know that for me, it helps when I write things down, when I journal, right? Because what does journaling allow you to do? It allows you to reflect. And when you can reflect, it puts everything into perspective more than, just a memory can, right? So I've always been one to journal. I had diaries growing up. I always have journals. There's always a journal in my bag, in my purse, in my backpack. I always have a journal, right? Because I'm a visual person. I like to write things down and see them. So, if you journal these different things, you can go back and backtrack and see, okay, where was I at last week, last month, last year? And if you go back and see that, you're still in that same space or constantly asking yourself the same questions, there's a disconnect, right? And then you're not unplugging long enough to get that disconnect back connected, right? So if you can write down, where you are currently, where you want to be, where your focus should be, that's a point that you can always go back and reflect on, right? So God is shaped, we can't quite see always what God is shaped for us, right? So when you're able to go back and review the steps and progress that you made, it puts a lot more things into perspective, because nobody likes to be complacent. Nobody likes to be at a standstill. And when you can visually see that, wow, I've been stuck in the same place for months, for weeks, for years, what is the problem? It makes it make more sense to you. Step two is to listen. Listen, right? We need to learn how to just stop and listen and let God handle it, right? Whether it's scheduling times throughout your day where you can just have a one-on-one conversation with God, whether it's, you waking up a little bit earlier and you're waiting to hear from him before you start your day, being able to pray and being open to change, being willing to change, being flexible when, God wants to share some of those priorities with you. So instead of, coming home and watching TV for an hour, come home and, talk to God for an hour, come home and pray, come home and just, be completely vulnerable and be still and just talk to God about whatever it is that you're going to, instead of going out or going, to a social event, getting on social media. Why don't you just stop and listen and wait for God to say something, right? Wait for him to talk to you so that you can hear what it is that he wants you to say. right? And it might mean that you're making these drastic changes, that maybe you have to sacrifice a couple of things, right? Maybe you have to give up certain things. Maybe you're not going to have as much me time or free time and all this other stuff. But, it's important that we're listening to God, because without listening to him, you know, what's the point, right? What is the point, right? Sometimes even fasting can help clear your head and allow you to be more close to God and allow you actually hear what he has to say. And you know what? You might have to give up, eating the ice cream before you go to bed, or give up, having that steak, every Wednesday, or give up, boneless nights at Buffalo Wild Wings, or whatever it may be. You might have to make some sacrifices so that you can ensure that you're actually hearing from him and not from your flesh, right? Because that's a constant battle, from what we see in the natural to what we want in the natural versus what God is saying to us and what we need to hear. Step 3 is to tweak. Tweak, right? Be open to adjusting and making changes in your priorities as needed, right? A lot of times we think that we have everything figured out. We have the answers, we know that it's going to work. It's our way or no way. We need to make sure that we're able and open to tweak certain things, because maybe that's part of the problem, right? If you're doing something the same, if you're doing the same thing and getting the same results every single time you do it, but you're expecting different results, that's insanity, right? If you're constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again, and the same thing is happening over and over and over again, but you think, oh no, this time it's going to be different. No, you need to be able and open to adjust and make changes, because that's probably why you're stagnant and not getting to where you need to be, right? That's probably why you're constantly drained come Wednesday of every week, because you're doing the same things, Sunday through Tuesday, right? We're doing the exact same things. We're being this person for all these different people that we're completely drained, by midweek, and we don't understand why. So tweak different things in your schedule, right? And allow God to be able to, be that confirming factor for you, right? So whether, he's going to help you make that decision or you pray to him about that decision, often listening to God and just being open to someone else's voice, especially the Father's voice, is like the biggest step, or one of the main steps you need to take in refocusing your energy, right? We're always on the go. We have our hands in multiple things, whether it's businesses or projects or family, or you may wear different hats, whatever the case may be. When we get so distracted in our own lives and the things that we have to do, we start to lean to our own understanding. And that's something that we shouldn't do, because we don't always have it figured out, right? A couple Bible verses that I want to give you guys to reflect on, within this list of things and the things that you should do while you're refocusing your energy, is Matthew chapter 6, verse 21, right? Make sure your heart is in the right place is really the basis of this scripture. The verse says, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also, right? So we must take care to remember that we are not preparing for tomorrow, but we're preparing for eternity. So we can't live today like we're living for tomorrow, right? We're living for eternity. We're trying to get to, paradise. We're trying to get to that place. We're trying to get to the promised land. So we need to make sure that everything that we do is with that in mind. We can't live for today, tomorrow, next week. We need to live for the long term. We're not living in this world to just be of this world, right? We're different. We're not of this world. We're the exception. We're the 1% of the 1%, right? So you need to make sure, wherever your heart is focusing on is where it needs to be, right? So our mind should be fixed on spiritual things that are admirable, right? Excellent and praiseworthy. Philippians 4:8 says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Like, don't be negative Nancy's every single day. And I get it. We all have a moment or moments throughout our day where we're just like, you know what? I'm over it. I can't do it. But guess what? You build a bridge, you climb over it. Don't sit on the bridge. Don't wait on the bridge. Build a bridge and climb over it. Don't stay in that negative place, because being negative takes a lot more energy than just smiling and being positive. Like, it's so easy for me to smile right now. If I was to sit here with the attitude, with a little frown on my face, it takes so much more energy to be mad. So just stop letting little things dictate your entire day and your entire week. If it happens, it happens. Okay, let's refocus. Focus back up and think about, that long-term goal, eternity. Don't live for today. Don't live for tomorrow. We're working on eternity. So you might have to make some sacrifices, right? Let's figure out why we're, getting charged back up. What do I have to do to get to that next space, right? What do I have to do to make sure I'm 100%, but I'm also elevating at the same time? We can't be stagnant, and we can't be complacent, and we can't just remain in the same place. Focus on the Lord, right? His words and his ways. All things that have eternal weight and value, right? When your mind is stayed on God, you will be more joyful. You will be more effective. You will be more happy, winning souls for the kingdom. You can't be a believer and a child of God if you're walking around like, woe is me, and you're always burnt out, and you're always, looking for somebody to pick you up. And nobody's going to want to know your God if that's what you're representing. How you portray yourself and how you come off and how you carry yourself, it matters, right? Whether you think people are watching or they're not. I guarantee you that if you're preaching or you're speaking and you're living for God, and you say that you're this person and your God is this and your God is that, people who don't necessarily believe, they're watching you, right? And they're going to watch how you handle certain situations and how you are, because as soon as you break, I actually did a sermon on, you might fold, but you won't break, right? As soon as you break, or as soon as you bend, or as soon as you cave, they're going to use that like, oh no, you said your God got you, but here you are, you caving and you breaking and all this other stuff. So let's focus back up, right? Focus back up. Let's stop getting caught up in the foolishness of the world. Stop getting caught up in other people's drama, other people's issues. Because you know what? If that's your ministry and that's your mission, you won't be drained when you do it. Stop trying to wear so many different hats, right? Focus on your focus. Focus on your priorities. Focus on the things that God has destined for you to do, right? Your gifts, your talents. We can't be everything to everybody. So when we unplug and when we try to get charged up, let's try to charge back into those things that we need to do. Write it down. Get a journal. It could be a journal from Dollar Tree. Everything in Dollar Tree is $1. You can go get a nice journal from Dollar Tree and just document your next 30 days. List what's going on in your morning, your afternoon, your night. And after that month is over, go back and reflect and ask yourself, was everything the same those past 30 days, or did I make progression? What changes did I make? How did I get to this place? So with that being said, as a recap, we are going to do 3 different things to make sure that we are remaining focused on our focus. We are going to assess, we are going to listen, and we are going to tweak, right? So thank you guys. That is my time. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to Recharge Wednesday. I hope you all have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. Make that list tonight, start journaling, get your thoughts together so you can get back in it. And we will see you guys next week here at 8 p.m. on Recharge Wednesdays. Thank you so much and have a wonderful night.